From the studios of Laugh Out Lounge, Polk County's premier comedy club, it's the Eric and Mike podcast. And now, here's us.
Hey, how's it going? Yay. Oh man! So how's it been since the last episode? Since we recorded it live in front of a live studio audience here.
Well, I tell you, the responses from everybody has been amazing.
Oh, dude, it's been awesome. Everybody I've talked to enjoyed it. I had a blast. I don't know about you.
Sure, yeah. I was told that I was very uncomfortable. I don't feel like I was uncomfortable, but I was told that I was very uncomfortable.
You looked very uncomfortable. I think it is going to be in my opinion, now I could be completely wrong. This is just my perception. I think it's going to be a learning curve for you because of what you're used to doing for your whole. I mean, I mentioned it on that show. It's not what you're used to doing.
Right.
So I think there's a learning curve. Plus, I know that you have different ideas of what's okay and what's not okay, and that's what makes us a great dynamic, Eric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You like walking right up to the edge, and I keep trying to push you over.
Sure,
you know, right up to the line.
But I've got great balance most of the time.
Yes,
and I'm able to stay where I'm comfortable.
Right. Yeah.
But
absolutely.
it was different, but had a great time. And like I mentioned, the response was great. Thank you so very much to everybody that was there and that has listened in and that is listening. Do us a huge favor, and I know you've heard it a million times. Like and share this, and help us keep the show going. That would be amazing.
Yes, because it was a lot of fun. I think what we're going to try to do is release one a week, if possible, at least one a week, and then once a month or once every other month, we'll do another live version where we invite everybody to come out and we can give away prizes, and we'll just see how that goes. I was actually, and now that I have that we're sitting here, I probably maybe should have looked this up earlier. But let me just see if I can add a tab here and then go to Transistor and see what our downloads are looking like. If they're really bad, I'll just cut this out.
Yeah, change the subject to move on.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we're going to use that password. Oh boy, here we go. This thing, I definitely should have done this maybe before, but we'll see here. Okay, there it is, the Eric and Mike podcast, and we're at the 234.
All right.
That's not as good as I was hoping. I was hoping for more. So, Minions, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, please.
Listen to it again. Listen to it 4 times.
Sure. Yeah. All we need is like 15 seconds, and it counts. If you would.
We need to get it up to about 1,000 a week. That would be great. So,
right.
Yeah, hurry up.
That would be amazing.
If each of you listened to it 4 times, we would almost be there.
Come on, do the math. Each one of you in the house, come on.
You've gotta all listen to it at least 4 times and share and tell all of your friends.
Please, and thank you so very much. Now, Transistor, is that the only platform we're on?
No, Transistor's like our distributor, if you think of it that way. Like we're Budweiser.
Okay.
And Transistor is Bernie Little.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? So we create the product, then we give it to Transistor, and it distributes it out to all of the bars.
Okay.
Yeah. You see what so Apple Podcasts, which we're not on that yet. Maybe by the time this one airs, we will be.
All right.
But that one's a process. You have to submit it. They have to come back to you. You have to. Oh, it's such a ridiculous
It's Apple.
Yeah. So I just haven't done all of those steps yet. But we're already on Spotify, Amazon Music. We're on a bunch of other mini podcast things like Podcast Nation and
Sweet
Podcast Live and blah blah blah.
Excellent.
A lot of other ones. So, but the big ones are Spotify, Amazon Music. I believe we're on Google Play, and of course we'll be on Apple Podcasts soon enough. So.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that is very, very cool.
So you can listen to it 4 times on 4 different platforms. We'll be huge.
Please,
we'll be Joe Rogans in no time.
You have no idea how much we need you. Please.
Yeah, so make sure that happens, everyone.
Well, we have a new president.
We do. That's right.
We have a new president. He was sworn in on Monday the 20th. And I thought I would challenge your 8th grade history class knowledge.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I have some presidential inauguration trivia questions.
All right. Hit me.
All right. What president gave the longest inauguration speech and then died 1 month later?
Oh, I know this because he's the only president who was in office for only 1 month, and it's like He's an old one. He's an old one. He's
Yeah.
like in the teens or the 20s, somewhere in there.
Okay.
McKinney, McCanahan, McMinley.
Ooh, you're getting close.
I know. I remember as soon as you tell me, I'll be like, that one.
It's William Harrison.
Oh, God, that's so close.
Well, you had McKinney and Henry, and
Yeah.
you kind of said Henry, and
Right, yeah,
Henry's his
okay.
middle name. March 4th, 1841, it was a cold and blustery day in Washington, and he said that he was not going to wear an overcoat, hat, or gloves.
That's right.
He then proceeded to give the longest inauguration speech in history, 8,460 words over 2 hours long.
Holy moly.
3 weeks later, he caught a cold and died of pneumonia.
Wow. that's what happens when you go out in the cold with no hat and no coat or anything on.
Sure.
Way to go, dummy.
Here's the next question. What president was given the oath of office by a notary public?
Oh, wow. I have no idea on that one.
At 2:30 a.m. on August 3rd, 1923,
Yeah.
while visiting in Vermont, Calvin Coolidge received the word that President Harding had died and that he was now president of the United States. Well, Coolidge's father just happened to be a notary public. He administered the oath and signed him in.
Hey, there you go. That's a good one.
So
Very nice.
not only can you get married by the notary, you can become president by a notary.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Let's see here.
I have a random one for you. I hope
Oh,
it's not
sure.
on your
Yeah,
list.
go right ahead.
Is it legally required for the president to put his hand on the Bible to be sworn in?
No, it is not.
That's right. You're right.
Yes.
It is not.
I actually have a question around that.
Similar to that? Yeah, because
yeah.
I know that was a big deal at the Trump inauguration that he never actually put his hand on the Bible. But it's not required.
It's not required.
You don't have to do that. They have it there for you to do. And he probably got some, a little bit of flack for that, but not legally required. You don't have to swear on the Bible. You just have to say you'll do it. You'll do a good job.
Yeah.
And then we trust you because we put you there.
There was here it is. John Adams used a book of law. Lyndon Johnson was sworn in on a plane using a Catholic, I think it's pronounced missal.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm not sure what that is. And Theodore Roosevelt didn't use a book at all.
Really?
Yeah.
No book.
No book.
You could get sworn in on the book of like the first edition of Batman if you want
Sure,
to.
yeah.
I swear by Batman I will do a good job.
Which is what I would use if I was doing this. Let's see here. What? The presidential inauguration was held on January 20th. Has it always been on January 20th? Yes or no?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to guess it's like the first or third Monday or something like that.
You should have just stayed with no.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Prior to 1937, presidents were inaugurated on March 4th.
Okay.
Except for George Washington. His was April 30th. Now, the reason they moved it to January 20th at 12 noon was to shorten the amount of time between the election and when he takes office.
But I get a correct answer with
So
no.
we'll give you a correct answer.
I get a correct, partially correct at least.
Correct, sir. When is the inauguration not held on January 20th?
Well, we know it's not if it falls on a holiday because
Correct.
it was Martin Luther King Day at the same time. So I'm going to guess if it's like some sort of inclement weather or if there's like a major event going on, like war breaks out or something of that nature.
No, it's
come
more
on.
it's more simple than that.
Oh, okay.
If January 20th falls on a Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they won't do it if it falls on a Sunday.
Then it becomes Monday the 21st. or
Correct.
whatever. Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
I think that next year, I remember looking to see when that was. So yes, because we wanted to see when Martin Luther King's Day was next year, and I think it falls on the 19th. So does that mean that it will the inauguration then? Oh wait, it's not going to be anybody inaugurated next year.
Yeah.
I'm super smart.
That's okay.
I'm really smart sometimes.
Sure.
I was just thinking. So if it fell on the 19th, would they inaugurate somebody? Or if a Monday was the 19th and the 20th was a Tuesday, so it doesn't matter the day of the week.
Correct.
It's always the 20th.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not the third Monday or anything like that.
Correct. It's
Okay.
always the 20th, January
Gotcha.
20th. Which president had the coldest inauguration?
The coldest? I'm going to go
Yes.
with that William Harrison guy. I mean, he died of pneumonia 3 weeks later or whatever.
Actually, it was Grant.
Okay.
His inauguration, it was 4 degrees.
4 degrees?
4 degrees. That's right.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was like going to bring up the weather that's been going on here in Florida lately because it's been stupid cold.
Yeah.
For us anyway, it's been stupid cold. But for those of you who are listening outside of Florida, I know that we did actually have some people in England listening, by the way.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
we got
you
some
so
downloads
much.
in England.
Thank you, Governor.
Yeah. Right. But anyway, it's been really cold here for us. Like lows in the 40s and 30s for like a solid 3 weeks almost. It's been pretty chilly. But today, my family who's in town from Oklahoma, they were like, I'm not complaining about it being cold here anymore. I was like, why? They were like, I just got off the phone with the family back home, and it's 5 degrees there. 5 degrees in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And that's Oklahoma, so I can only imagine what it's like in Chicago or anywhere up north right now.
Well, my best friend had a death in his family, and he has to go to a funeral, and it's 15 below.
Oh,
and they don't know what they're going to do with Grandpa.
how are they going to dig out the ground?
Yeah, right.
They don't even know how they're going to dig out the hole.
They're kind of concerned right now. So
Grandpa's a grandpa sickle.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what I said. He's a grampy sickle.
Wow.
Popping back real quick to the inauguration trivia.
Yes, please go. Yeah.
Who was the only president sworn in by a woman?
Ooh. Oh, would that be that would that has to be somebody recent, I would say. Bill Clinton.
Lyndon Johnson.
Oh, okay.
He was sworn in by a U.S. District Court Judge, Sarah Hughes, on Air Force One right after JFK was assassinated.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I actually, if I would have thought long and hard about that, or if I would have known that. At first, I thought you were going to say he was, sworn in by Jackie O. How awful would that have been for her?
Yeah. She was there. She was standing next to him.
Yeah, she was standing next to him.
Yeah. Name the only president that was sworn in by using a nickname. Most presidents are sworn in by their formal name. So if it was you, it would be Michael Lee.
What? Right.
So this was a nickname that was used.
Would it be Teddy Roosevelt?
No, it was Jimmy Carter.
Oh, really?
Yes, Jimmy being short for James Earl Carter is his full name.
Yeah, I was going with the Teddy and Theodore thing.
Right, yeah. And let's see here. 2 more real quick questions.
You don't have to rush, Eric. We don't have any time limit on this. There's no PD listening in the corner office going, wrap it up, boys, wrap it up. We've got plenty of time.
Let's see here. Who is the youngest and who is the oldest man to be president? In other words, who has been the youngest and who has been the oldest?
Youngest, JFK, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the oldest, it's going to be either Biden or Trump, I think.
Okay.
Do I have to choose one of those?
Yes.
I can't get. Okay, I'm going to say it's Trump this time.
You are correct.
Look at that! I'm getting some of these right.
Right there. Donald Trump is 78 years and 7 months old. He is the oldest president ever.
So and I don't know how old they are, but I wonder if Biden, when he was elected, he was now the oldest, and then because the 4 years passed, and then Trump gets elected, now he's the oldest. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Immediate record being broken.
Yeah, possibly so.
Because they're both up there.
Oh, sure.
They're both in their late 70s.
And nothing says I connect with the people more than an 80-year-old white man.
telling you how you should be living your life now when you're in your 20s and 30s. I'm sure you really connect well.
Yeah. And finally, the final question, how many words long is the oath of office?
Oh, gosh.
Do you want me to give you some
give me.
Is it 31, 35, 27, or 52?
I'm going to hope that it's a little bit longer, so I'm going to say 52.
It's 35.
Really?
35 words long.
35 words long.
I could make it shorter. Hey, you want the gig? I do. Cool, it's yours.
Yeah. Do you promise to do well? As best as you can.
Here are the keys to the White House, the keys to Air Force One, and the keys to the limo. Peace out.
See you later. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So did you watch any of so does that conclude our
Yes, that concludes our
trivia?
Yes,
that was
it does.
fantastic.
Thank you so much. And did I watch it?
Yeah, did you watch any of it?
Not at all.
I didn't watch a single minute of it, man.
Yeah.
Not even 1 minute. And I feel almost bad because we should as Americans watch the inauguration and know what's going on, but I've got a life and I'm busy and we're not going into the radio station anymore. And I that has been 100% of my news. And so Who's president? Oh, right, Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, it's to me, it's just rhetoric. I don't care
Yeah.
what side would have won. It just would have been more rhetoric. And frankly, I just the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
Quit telling me what you're going to do, and let's make things happen.
Yeah.
And let's make it happen, Captain. And I don't see gas prices $2 a gallon yet. And my street that I live on is not paved in gold. So
I've been my stepdad is a big Trump guy, and so I keep so like just yesterday we went out to St. Pete to go to a place for dinner.
Sure.
And we had to gas up before on our way out of town, and I immediately looked at the gas prices and went, "What? Why? What's going on? Trump was inaugurated this morning or this afternoon,
Right?
And I have not seen those gas prices go down. What's
Right.
going on with your president, sir?
Yeah.
Giving him crap. So you didn't see Melania's hamburger hat or anything like that?
No, I've heard about the
Here I've got a picture for you right
the
there.
Hamburglar hat. Yeah.
Everybody is comparing her to the Hamburglar. It's pretty good.
God
I
bless.
mean, it's pretty good.
Rubble.
It was apparently the brim was so wide that Donald Trump couldn't even give her a kiss on the side of the cheek. He gave her like an air kiss because he couldn't get it kept hitting him in the forehead. So he just kissed the air right next to her cheek, which I thought was pretty funny.
Maybe she did that on purpose.
Yeah, you'd never know. Let's see. Is there any other big hits from it? All of them were there. Elon Musk, all of the tech guys were there.
Sure.
Oh, and then apparently Carrie Underwood came out to sing America the Beautiful, and there was no music. They couldn't get their 360 to work.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So she was supposed to sing live over a recorded track, apparently, but there was like an awkward silence for like 2 minutes or so. And she basically said, you know what? I'll just sing it. How about I just sing it? And she sang it a cappella. So I actually say kudos to her for that.
Way to
That's
step
actually
up.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Way to step up, kiddo.
She is apparently getting kind of ripped, though, a little bit for throwing a, quote, hissy fit because, and not because of the performance, but I guess she was treated poorly, and they treated her kind of poorly in the back, like backstage. So I'm sure there's already going to be more news out about that by the time anyone hears this, but that's all I have on it right now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, she could always have recorded everything and put it on TikTok if it wasn't down at the time.
Oh, yeah, TikTok is out, isn't that right?
Well, it's back now.
It's already back?
Yeah, it was up, it was down, it was up, and I think it's up now, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, sweet irony.
Yeah.
What is going on? So it was definitely banned, right? It was supposed to be banned on Sunday, if I remember right.
Right.
It was gone forever, and now it's
Yes.
already back?
Yes.
So what happened with that?
Instead of lowering egg and gas prices, Trump got it back up. No, I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because I'm not a TikToker, and
I'm not either. I just I don't know. I know that I heard that there was going to be some sort of an extension, or they were trying to do some sort of an extension. So I guess they did that.
Yes, Donald Trump signed an executive order in attempt to delay the TikTok ban.
Oh, really? So Trump
Yes.
did that.
Yes.
I'm kind of surprised by that because I thought he was one of the big ones saying no more TikTok, but I could have my facts misconstrued on that one.
Well, I thought TikTok was all owned by China, and I thought we didn't like China,
Well,
and
that
we
was-
were going to bomb China, and we were going to take over Iceland and China or whatever.
I have no idea. I really did think that Trump was all about getting rid of TikTok, and because it was owned by China, or controlled mostly. I can't find the story here on my stuff at all. to get any
President
more
Trump
detail.
signed an executive order Monday to keep TikTok operating for 75 days. A relief to the social media platform's users, even as national security questions persist. TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance was supposed to find a U.S. buyer or be banned on January 19th. Trump's order could give ByteDance more time to find a buyer.
Wow. Well, all right then. Well, there you go. Hopefully they do find a buyer because I know that there are a lot of people making a lot of money on it. And as much as I hate TikTok and as much as crap as I like giving all the influencers, it is, I mean, they're making a living. And if
Yeah.
you're making a living, it sucks if your job goes away, as we both well know.
As we know, yeah. And also, we have friends that are making a decent living off of TikTok
Oh, yeah,
and,
for sure.
and some of that. So, all the power and all the best to them. I don't know. It personally kind of all. I'm going to sound like the old man, but it all kind of scares me with how much all of these devices are listening and how much they know, and et cetera, et cetera.
How much? I was actually reading an X, a Twitter tweet, whatever you want to call it, from a guy who used to work for TikTok, and he was like, I used to work for TikTok. Ask me anything, and it had thousands of comments and questions. But one of the ones that they were talking about, one asked was, how much of our information do social media companies or TikTok truly own? And he said, all of it. We know everything about you.
God.
And isn't that crazy? And that's not. And he goes and he did go on to say that that's not just TikTok. Facebook does too, and so does Instagram, and they track everything that we do on there. Every little question that we answer, all those questionnaires that say, check mark however many that you've done since you were in your 20s or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, swam naked in a pool or drank beer until midnight. Like, it keeps track of that stuff. Like, all of those things they can keep track of. And so they have ungodly amounts of information on every single one of us. The only difference is TikTok is owned by China, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, all American companies. And so it's totally legal for them to do it.
Of course.
TikTok not good because now that means China has it,
Yeah.
And it's all for sale from Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else. They're going to sell it. How do you think they make their money?
Right.
That's how they make their money, through advertising, and they know how to target specific people. Oh, here's a great flesh-colored bathing suit. Let's sell it to Eric because he likes going skinny dipping, or whatever it is, So it sucks. It's kind of scary to know how much they have on you.
I suspect you, as a business owner, could say to them, who likes stand-up comedy?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And they would say, well, here's 80 million people that have all
100%.
Okay, fine.
So if I buy an advertisement for the comedy club and I'm promoting a show, it asks me who I would like to target. Now they've created something called the Advantage Audience, and that's where they market it to people that they know would like my product, right? Based on what my page is and what it represents and blah 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 blah. But their the disadvantage of the Advantage audience for them is that it's national, and I'm not advertising to people in New York City or L.A. or Wisconsin. I'm advertising to people in Polk County, Florida.
Sure.
So that doesn't work for me. So I have to go through, and I can literally click and choose, and I can create my own audience and save them once I've done this. But I have to adjust it every once in a while. So like stand-up comedy, evening events, nightlife, all of these interests that people have, and I select that, and then I can select specific comedians. How many people like, Jerry Seinfeld or Kevin Hart or whatever. If they have any of these interests that I'm typing in, then this ad goes to them. It's like a very specifically targeted ad to those people. And I also have recently added the college students. So if they have any interest in Polk State College or whatever, because I'm trying to market to a younger demographic and get more younger people in here as well, I can do all of that. And Facebook just knows who these people are. You know what I mean? They know who, you want these people that like Kevin Hart are college fans or college students or even college professors. And they also like Saturday Night Live and they enjoy nightlife or evenings out. This is the perfect person for your ad, and it pops up on your feed.
Scary.
It is. Yeah.
Just absolutely scary.
Yeah. I use it to my advantage, though. So keep putting that stuff out there, folks. I love it.
Yeah.
Do me that favor.
So next time you see the put an X by the state that you visited questionnaires.
Yeah, exactly.
Please do that.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause that's the way it goes. That's what they're doing. They're just collecting as much information as they possibly can.
Yeah, and it always concerns me when I will say something like to a friend of, well, okay, here's a perfect example. I stumbled upon recently Wallace and Gromit shows.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And fell in love with them. I thought they were brilliant. I thought the hidden little Easter eggs that are in there are fantastic, and I thought the comedy was great. And I
haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember it being very good. Yes,
the animation was wonderful, and so I changed my social media picture to Wallace and Gromit.
Okay.
And I even posted. I said, "Why didn't you tell me about this? I think
I
it's
remember,
brilliant."
I saw it. Yeah.
Now I get ads for Wallace and Gromit T-shirts and salt and pepper shakers and just everything under the sun.
Everything Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, and it's just by talking about it now, my phone is probably listening and going to Amazon and finding something for me.
I was just about to say, that's the other thing. It doesn't have to be your favorite TV show. It could be anything. I like the color red, and all of a sudden a red convertible pops up for sale in the marketplace, whatever it may be. So, yeah, there's. Speaking of red, the national champions are Ohio State.
Meh.
You like that segue there? That was
that was good. Yeah, that was nice.
But yeah, did you watch any of the game?
I watched it all.
You did?
Yes.
So did I. I watched all 21 minutes of the ESPN YouTube highlights. It was awesome.
First drive, Notre Dame looked amazing.
Did you think so? I didn't think so.
Yeah.
They had to fight tooth and nail for that first touchdown. It took them 9 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a long time to
ate
score.
up the clock, 18 plays.
Yeah, I mean,
they controlled it, man. They were just marching.
Now
they did it.
I can give you that, and that would be great if you were leading in the third quarter.
Correct, yeah.
But in the first quarter, when you're fighting tooth and nail for that very first touchdown, and it takes you 9 minutes to do it, then you saw what happened. Then Ohio State just ran away with it.
Yeah,
there.
they were like, yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. We'll give you that one.
Yeah, you had one swing, and now here we go. Then Ohio State just goes and runs all over them. And they're both from my neck of the woods. And, Notre Dame is in Indiana, South Bend, Indiana. Ohio State, of course, Columbus, Ohio. I am a Big Ten fan, so I was happy about that. But any school, any entity that has tried to trademark the word "the," you instantly rate arrogant in my book, and I'm not going to support you. But all of that aside, I thought the game was rather boring and ho hum. It was so kind of one-sided and lopsided.
Yeah, it was kind of. I kind of agree. Like once Ohio State started kind of running up and down the field on them, it kind of got a little boring, and then it got interesting again at the end when Notre Dame looked like they might be able to set the stage for a comeback, and then it was just over. Like I mean, they were so close to possibly maybe tying it up. And then, of course, Ohio State kicks the last-minute field goal and puts it completely out of reach with 30-something seconds on there.
Yeah.
So then you knew it was over. Like it was like almost really exciting. It was exciting, but it was almost really exciting. And then it became kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
Another Ohio State championship. Great.
Yeah. Whoopee. One that Urban Meyer didn't get you.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, who's the coach, he just looked like he was a deer in headlights.
You think?
During the game.
You did? You thought that?
Yeah. He just looked like he was overwhelmed by what was going on.
Wow. Well, see, I didn't watch the whole broadcast. I only got to see the highlights. So every time they showed the coaches, they looked like they were in full control.
Sure, yeah.
But those are the highlights. So.
Yeah. He just kind of, they would cut away to him, and he'd just be standing there. Like, what decision do I make?
Well, his team was getting their asses kicked for so long.
Right.
He probably was a little bit deer in headlightish. Like, what is happening? How are we falling apart like this? This is not the team that I've coached all year or whatever, They just hadn't played against a team like Ohio State all year.
And Ryan Day was his typical screaming and yelling and animated and whatnot. But even when they went to when Notre Dame went to the fake punt, it looked like they rushed out there to fake it, to do it. They just didn't seem
cohesive.
Yeah, the first drive. And then, I don't understand this. It seems to me that when a team comes out on this level, college and pro, I've heard and I know that they will have the first 20, maybe even 30 plays scripted. They know what they're doing.
Sure, they have a game plan.
They have the game plan, and this is what we rehearsed, and we're going to do it, and we're going to do it in this order. And it seems to me that they stick to that no matter what. And I don't understand if I hand the ball to a dude and he gets 12 yards,
Yeah.
let me keep handing the ball to that dude.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You know, if so-and-so, if Mike Lee is breaking free and getting 10, 12 yards every time I pass him the ball, I'm going to keep going with Mike Lee.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
if he's not, I'm going to try somebody else.
Right, try
I'm not
something
going to
else,
stick
yeah.
to this game plan. But maybe I just don't understand it.
Well, I don't know. Do they do that in baseball? I mean, don't they have a lineup that they stick to, like as batting order?
They have
and
the
stuff?
batting order, yeah, but they don't.
But I mean, do they ever differ? Like if they're way behind, do they change the lineup?
They will change. They will substitute players in.
They
yes.
will.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think in that regard, it's kind of similar in that yes, there is a game plan, and I think behind the scenes they probably do a lot more, audibles, as you call it, than you probably are, than we're aware of. None of us know exactly what their game plan is. But yeah, if they have a game plan, even if that one running play is getting them 12 yards every time, they can't just continue to run it because eventually they're going to figure it out. Right. And so you got to keep them on their toes. So now this time, instead of a run, we're going to run that exact same play, but it's going to be play action. So we're going to fake the run, and now we're going to pass it deep because they all sucked in to block the run. So that's I mean, I'm not a football expert. I'm just speaking, on my basic knowledge of it. That's kind of why I imagine that they have to stick to that game plan because they can't just go, well, this play seems to be working. Let's just keep running that. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they even said, I think it was Kirk Herbstreit said, Notre Dame's got to get back to what they were doing so well in the first quarter, which was just pounding the ball at them. And it seems like, we did that the first drive, and then now let's go try something else.
You also got to think about, and you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong here, but I am, just to play devil's advocate, you got to think about that first drive took 9 minutes. Yeah. They're not used to being out there for 9 minutes of playtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's got to be exhausting to your offense.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can buy that.
So you've got to go, we've got to try something else. We've got to do some quick hits. We've got to get some big plays or something. Because if we just keep putting them out there and saying, all right, boys, we're going to slam you up against this brick wall 50 times in a row and just keep doing it.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Yeah. Remember, it's all about having fun.
It's all about it's just a game. So go have fun. Yeah.
So that's what I imagine was going on, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
To equate it to baseball, it would be as if a pitcher goes out and says, okay, first pitch is always going to be a fastball, then a curve, then a fastball, and a slider, then a fastball. Now, every single batter is going to get the exact same rotation of pitches.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, they're eventually going to figure it out. And if he's getting players out on a curveball, throw the curveball more often.
Yeah, yeah. Don't they do that in baseball?
Yeah.
Like if I, as a pitcher, know that you, Eric Michaels, are terrible at a curveball, like your percentage on hitting a curveball is way low.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to throw you curveballs all night.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And they'll start like maybe with a fastball in to put your eyes, what they call putting your eyes there.
Yeah.
Then they're going to change your eye level, which means they'll go down and away.
Right.
And then they may come back up, and you think it's two inside, and it's on the plate. And
that kind of precision in sports, to me, is what is the most astounding. Like if a pitcher knows how to, all right, I'm going to place this ball 3 inches higher than the last one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can raise his eye up so that the next curveball he can't see. And then they talk about the same thing with the quarterbacks. When a catcher makes a receiver rather makes a diving catch, and they say, "Boy, that was perfect placement by the quarterback." In my mind, I'm going, baloney. He threw that ball off his back heel, and it just happened to go down low, and the wide receiver dove for it and got it.
Yeah.
Of course, he was the only one that could get to it because he knew the basic path of the ball,
sure,
whereas the defenders don't. And so but he didn't mean to throw it at his heels. Yeah. I'm going to throw this one I'm going to throw this one behind him so he has to turn around. You know what I mean?
And make a one-handed, one-finger catch. Yeah. We've been practicing.
Really, look at that precision from the quarterback, and it's like, I don't know.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I feel like baseball, though, is probably a little bit more precise in that regard.
There is a story of one of my favorite pitchers. His name is Greg Maddux. There's a story in which one of his catchers, and I can't recall his name, was talking about it. They were on the Atlanta Braves, and they were facing Houston at the time, and Jeff Bagwell was at bat, and the Braves had a comfortable lead. And so Greg decided to throw a certain pitch because he knew that Greg was going to hit it and hit it for a home run.
Sure.
Or hit it. And he did, and he hit it for a home run. Now, the Braves still won the game, but the catcher said, "What are you doing? I called it, I wanted to get him out, low anyway." And Maddox is quoted as saying, "We're going to face them in the playoffs, and he's going to look for that pitch again." And so then here comes the playoffs, and he kept looking for that pitch that he hit a home run on.
Yeah.
Everything is down and away.
Yeah,
and everything is, I've got you. I set you up, 2 months ago.
2 months ago for this night.
For this one pitch.
Yeah.
And I got you.
See, that's some good strategery.
Yeah.
As they call it. Yeah.
But Greg Maddox was a master. I think he's the greatest pitcher ever to pitch the game, but that's
and I could be completely wrong. I'm sure that I'm sure quarterbacks do make a decision. I need to hit him in the gut, or I need to hit him on the run.
Right.
Obviously, that's a goal. But I just feel like every time they are getting hit and they're falling and they throw the ball and then the receiver makes an amazing catch, they're like, "Look at that placement of the ball." Yeah. And it's like, come on, man. Well, sometimes they just get lucky too.
It also depends on the quarterback. If it was just some Joe Schmo like Flacco, who's been around for 100 years and played with 900 teams. Oh, yeah, the receiver was amazing by doing that. But if Patrick Mahomes does it, what a godsend Patrick Mahomes is.
Yeah.
Oh,
he does it on
gosh.
purpose every time.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to penalize the other team because the pitch was not a perfect spiral. Anyway.
All right. Well, I think it's about time for the nerd news, which we don't have our bed for anymore.
Okay. We can
isn't it nerd news now?
It's food news.
Oh, it's food news. I'm sorry. Food
all right.
news. That's my fault.
No worries.
I'm jumping ahead like 3 topics here.
Let's see. In the world of food, which, by the way, if you would like to sponsor the food news, it's simple. Just get a hold of us here at the Eric and Mike podcast. Oh, by the way, real quick side note, we do have now an email address that you can email us.
Oh, that's right. Yes, we do.
It's ericandmikepodcast@gmail.com.
Not the Eric and Mike podcast.
No.
Just Eric and Mike podcast.
Eric and Mike podcast. And it's the word A-N-D. ERICANDMIKEPODCAST.
Wow, you did that. Good job. Look
from memory at gmail.com. So feel free to email us, hit us up with questions, hit us up with the suggestions, hit us up for sponsorships, whatever you would like. Please do so, and we would love to talk to you. It's that simple. In the world of food, police in London saved a woman who called and pretended to order a pizza because she was being held captive by an ex-boyfriend.
Oh, boy.
She contacted their equivalent of 911, which is 999 in Great Britain. And the operator, when the woman said, "I'd like to order a pizza," and I don't know if you've ever heard these stories, these, I would call them urban legends of people doing this, but this actually happened. The operator answered the phone, and she said, "Yes, I'd like to order a pizza." "Ma'am, do you know who you phoned?" "Yes, I do." "Is there a problem?" "Yes."
Wow.
And then the operator said, "I want you to say the word pepperoni if you are in danger." The woman said, "Extra pepperoni."
Oh, wow.
And so the woman kept her on the phone, got her address, and called the law enforcement, and they were able to get out there and save her and arrest the boyfriend.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very well done.
There is a bakery in Brooklyn that is in the news right now because their bread costs whatever you want to pay.
Oh, okay.
So
like an honor system type thing?
Pretty
almost?
much, yeah.
Okay.
They don't keep it a secret. You walk up, you go to the counter, you get the bread, and you pay whatever you want to pay for it.
Really?
And they say that they are actually making a profit because people are upfront, honest, and if they can afford to pay a little bit more, they'll pay a little bit more. They'll pay $5 for a loaf, when it may actually only cost the people.
How do you think that would go anywhere else if it wasn't just bread? And I wonder, like, does it have the details in there as to what type of bread?
No, it doesn't. No.
Okay, because I'm wondering too, because think of what is it, Born and Bred in Lakeland?
Yes, right.
They have some really nice baked loaves, like some artisan loaves.
Sure.
And they have all of the treats, of course, that they make. Do you think that this bakery in Brooklyn is doing it for all of the bread that they make? Or do you think that they have, like, here's your basic white sandwich bread loaf that they make. Give us what you want for it. Well, what about that nice artisan garlic loaf over there? Oh, yeah, that's $6. you know what I mean?
All bread is pay what you want.
All bread is.
All bread. However,
Okay.
they also have coffee, pastries, coffee cake, pies.
Okay,
cakes.
so they do have other things for
Yes,
sale.
that they are actually, kind of
Okay.
turning a profit on.
Yeah.
But they say that they find that people are extremely generous and pretty much match what it would cost.
Like, I just wonder how that would go anywhere else. Like, if you did it at Outback Steakhouse. We're doing bloomin' onions this Tuesday. You tell us what you think it's worth.
Yeah.
How many free bloomin' onions do you think they're handing out? Yeah. This thing ain't worth nothing.
Yeah. Well, why don't you try it here at the comedy club?
Yeah. No, boy. Yeah, I'll tell you what, this Bud Light is worth how much you think it's worth.
That comedian did not make me laugh, so.
You pay your bill. How many beers did you drink? 7? You tell me how much you think that's worth.
Yeah.
Based on the experience you had. I don't know. I do wonder, like, if we were to try it, what would happen? Would some people go, okay, here's $20, and other people would be like, here's $50, Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe at the end of the day you would break even, but I don't.
I don't see it happening for a regular thing.
Yeah.
For some reason, bread, it's flour, water, and eggs, yeast. It seems like a much cheaper, maybe a safer product to use in an experiment like that.
It's considered a staple, so people are going to buy it.
Right,
They're going to do it. Where a comedy club or a Bloomin' Onion is a luxury.
Yeah.
So I can almost buy that business model of.
I could see it, and I do like. It kind of goes with what I had in my head. They have other things that are for sale. It's not like just walk.
Yes,
because there's like a place down in Lake Wales. I don't know if you've heard of it. There's a honey store down in Lake Wales.
Oh yeah,
off of, I think it's Highway 60, and it is complete honor system. They have different size jars of honey. And they have a little thing. They don't even. I don't even think that anybody's actually working the counter or anything. You just walk into this little room. It's the size of like think of like a bedroom or something.
Okay.
It's like a little shop, and it's got all these honeys. And you take a bottle and you leave money. You leave money for the honey.
money.
But it's complete honor system, and they've been there for years. I told Jessica never take me there. I will get a lot of honey for $5.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Don't. I'm just not that trustworthy. That you think I should pay what I think it's worth? Okay.
Oh,
okay. But apparently,
how much work did you really put into it? I mean, come on, admit it. The bees did all the work.
Yeah, exactly.
So come on.
Exactly. I'm like, don't ever take me. Just don't ever take me there. You're welcome to go. Enjoy yourself. But I don't know. I think it's cool. I think a lot more people have better morals than I do. So
Progresso,
yes,
just debuted new chicken noodle soup flavored cough drops.
Ugh. God.
Ew.
That sounds disgusting.
They are called soup drops. They're not medicated in any way. They're technically marketed as soup-flavored candy, which is somehow even grosser, I guess. Yeah. But it's all in honor of National Soup Month.
Oh, my God.
Would you please shut up?
Fine. I'll move on.
Why? Does anybody actually crave chicken noodle soup when they're sick? Or is it just kind of it's a comfort thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would.
Like, I'm not going, hey, let me get a cough drop. I need a cough drop to help me with my cough. And then the chicken noodle soup just kind of, it feels good to eat it when you're feeling under the weather.
I have read stories and research that indicates that chicken noodle soup actually is of benefit to
Oh,
you.
is it really?
For the common cold, because
Okay.
it just has the right combination of warmth and the broth
And the salt and-
yes,
yeah.
and everything that you need to try to not eliminate the cold, but at least try to limit its
Relieves the symptoms.
its damage, if you will.
I
Yeah,
would
but-
say that yes, that was one of. So I don't know about you, but when I'm sick and I have some chicken noodle soup, I put a ton of pepper in it.
yeah,
And then that way, because pepper is spicy, but it's not like hot.
yes,
So whenever you eat it, though, it does to me. It seems like the steam and the pepper in there kind of helps relieve the sinuses a little bit. It clears it up. But I don't know if I would want that in cough drop form, because then I'm not getting any of the benefits of eating the chicken noodle soup. So
Speaking of soup,
yes.
I don't know if you noticed on social media, but over the weekend I made for the first time homemade French onion soup.
I saw that. Yes, I did. So,
Yes.
and how did it turn out?
It was amazing.
Yeah, I saw that you made little croutons. You didn't do a
Yeah.
single crostini. You did
Yeah, I did
croutons.
croutons,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I was impressed. It's labor intensive. It takes you 2.5, 3, 4 hours.
Really? Well, what did you do? Once you get the soup going, you just let it simmer, don't you?
Well, you start with 4 pounds of onions.
Oh, my.
And then you put them in the double boiler and you let them sweat for 40 minutes until they're loose
Wow.
and translucent.
You put it in a double boiler?
or Dutch oven. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
Dutch oven. Oh,
Dutch
okay,
oven.
okay.
Then took the lid off, let the liquid cook down. That's when it starts to brown. Once it started to brown and caramelize, then
And you have to do that on low, don't you?
yeah.
So it takes forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And then a cup of red wine and 4 cups of beef broth, and then deglaze the pot as
Sure.
that went on, and then some bay leaves and thyme
Oh, yeah.
and pepper, and just let it then simmer for about 40 minutes. So by the time everything is done,
Yeah,
it was like 3 hours.
Yeah, like a
3.5.
3-hour process.
And then I went out and got some Gruyere cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the best cheese.
And
I was a provolone guy, but I love Gruyere,
Yeah.
man. It's
You
awesome.
did you? I didn't look at the photo. Did you get the little bakeable dishes so you could put your soup in and then put it in the broiler?
The crock pot?
Yeah, the
No,
little crock
no, I
pots?
didn't get
No.
crocks.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I used my bowl.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then I put then I spooned it up and put 2 big slices of provolone, and then my croutons, then the Gruyere and Parmesan over that.
Oh, my
Popped it in the oven,
Sounds delicious.
toasted it up, and it was kick-ass.
Yeah, it sounds like it
I
was.
loved it.
I
Yes,
love me some
indeed.
good French onion.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. So, real quickly, getting back to the cough drops.
Yeah.
20 drops for $2.50 plus dollar shipping. You have to go online to get them if you're interested in. And someone tried them and said that they do taste surprisingly similar to actual chicken noodle soup. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
good
it's-
luck if you
it's-
guys like that. Yeah.
It's pretty gross, I think.
It's not for me. I know I wouldn't be going out.
No,
I need the disgusting cherry medicine flavored Hall cough drops. That's
Preach,
what
brother.
Yeah, I need to know that I am getting medicine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to feel better. I want to feel bad. I want to taste something bad so I can feel better.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
There's something about that, even if it's the disgusting NyQuil. You know, it tastes like medicine.
Even though that we have recently been relieved of our job, was working on the radio your dream job?
Me?
Yes.
No, not at all. It's not the dream that I was chasing, but as I mentioned in the first episode, it's definitely one I didn't know I had. Yeah.
There is a new study out that quizzed 7th graders as to what their dream job would be.
Oh, okay.
And just for giggles, what do you think would be the number 1 dream job according to 7th graders?
Influencer.
Flight attendant.
Really?
Yes.
They want to be a flight attendant.
They want to be a flight attendant.
How interesting. Does that seem like it's making a comeback?
I think so.
It seems like that we've talked about this before, that people are going out and getting jobs where they get paid to travel.
Yeah.
And especially flight attendants and things like that, where they get paid to go to other places.
Yes. If we could go back 40 years, and or if I was 40 years younger or 35 years younger,
Yeah.
I would definitely look into either being a flight attendant or working on a cruise ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I think if I was in my 20s and I didn't, if I could, if I knew what I know now,
Yes.
then I would definitely take my chance and do that. But I kind of did that with the Wild West show. I traveled a lot, went to different towns, but nothing was out of the States. And that's what the cruise ship would offer.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
getting out of the States and going to different ports and everything like that.
Right. Now, you were offered a job on a cruise ship.
I was, yes.
And
At the same time, I was offered a job at the radio station.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can understand why you, I don't know if you recall this, but you basically said that you were tired of moving. You wanted some roots.
Yes.
You wanted to stay put. And that's why you selected the radio station.
Yeah.
Which I can thoroughly understand. You know, you've been traveling for 10 years.
I was 30 years old. I've been doing it since I was 20, and I was just ready to have a home, and that's why I stayed here. And so now I've been here for 20 years now, 21 years in Florida, in Winter Haven, and I'm glad because, I mean, I would have all this.
Sure.
Dream job now is definitely this. I know that at one point in my life, I told many people that my dream was to one day own a club, but it was not meant to be a comedy club. It was going to be like a regular, like a bar and club that had live entertainment. And so it turned into the comedy club, which you never know where this is going to go in the next 10 years. And it might turn into like a nightclub type atmosphere with offering different types of entertainment. But this is kind of the dream right now.
When is bingo coming here to the Laugh Out Lounge?
I have thought about doing so many different things, and comedy bingo was one of them.
Really?
Or just having like open mic comedy bingo. So like on open mic night, having comedy cards or bingo cards rather with different things that say every time he says a dick joke or every time he drops an F-bomb or whatever, you know, then you get a thing and then you go bingo right in the middle of somebody's set. And
I love that idea.
I think that's a fun idea.
That's
it
great.
Could be a lot of fun. So you can make open mic bingo, and because these open micers, a lot of them, and no offense to any of them who are listening to this, but everybody starts in this basically the same place.
Yeah.
Right. When you first start out, most of these guys and girls are pretty raunchy. Because that's the first thing. Like, let's get the cheap, easy laugh. Sure. And then it takes a while before you get comfortable talking about your mom or your dad or actually your life and finding funny and humor in that. And so it would be great to have all of those every time they make a fart joke, every time they make a dick joke, every time they drop an F-bomb, you get another blob on the bingo card. And or every time they say, "How's everybody doing tonight?" You know what I mean? And you get another blob. When you have 20 comedians on open mic night and each one of them comes up and goes, "How's everybody doing?" And the 15th one, you're going, "We're fine. We've said it 1,000 times." You know what I mean?
God, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they do that at Joker Marchant Stadium for the Tigers, for the Flying Tigers. Yeah, they'll have baseball bingo. So if it's a foul ball or a fan catches it or a ground ball or a home run or whatever, it's all on this bingo card. Oh. You've got to do that.
I think we have to do it. I might even start it this week.
Yes.
After this episode airs, we'll do it. Yeah.
That is awesome. I just love that idea.
Bingo, yeah.
Well, according to 7th graders, the top 5 dream jobs are nurse number 5, pharmacist number 4, police officer 3, attorney number 2, and flight attendant and pilot coming in at number 1.
Wow. The attorney is going to be the hardest one to achieve on there. That and the pharmacist.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, all the other ones are pretty, you know, not saying they're easy jobs, but they're definitely jobs that are a little bit easier to achieve.
But I don't understand who these kids are, because also on this list included psychiatrist.
Really? Were they interviewing? Was this a survey at the School of the Gifted?
I guess maybe so.
These are all like mature answers. Nobody said influencer. Influencer wasn't on any of these.
YouTuber is number 13.
Okay, but not even in the top 10.
Just one above dietitian.
Wow.
The hell?
I'm kind of surprised by that.
Real estate agent is number 18.
Oh, wow. Hey, there you go.
Trust me, it ain't all that cracked up to be.
Yeah. How's that going for you, by the way?
Yeah. If you'd like to sell your house, holler at your boy, Eric and Mike podcast at gmail.com.
There you go.
Please.
Please, hurry.
In Canada, Australia, and India, the number 1 dream job is...
goat herder.
being a radio disc jockey.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know why I said goat herder. Australia and who? Where else?
India and Canada.
India and Canada, yeah.
Bulgaria, the dream job for kids, is a taxi driver.
Wow. Being a radio DJ, though, I think in Australia is kind of a big deal. Because aren't there like a bunch of huge radio DJs that also like their show is broadcast on television there?
I believe, yeah.
I believe so, yeah. Because we've seen them in the news. We've dreamt about that job ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then see where it got us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see here. Now, you come from a family of two. It's you and your sister.
Correct.
And I have said many times that your sister was the favorite.
Yeah, I know. She would argue with you on that.
But a study analyzed data from over 19,000 participants and found that parents actually do treat their children differently, and they do have a favorite.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
The 5 takeaways to prove if you're the favorite or not.
Okay.
Number 1, both mothers and fathers tend to favor daughters.
Oh, great. How wonderful.
Oh, yes.
I'm coming after you, sis.
Parents favor children who demonstrate responsibility and organization in their daily lives.
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. My sister is the organized and more, she is an adult. Like, she was an adult by the time she was 30. It took me, I'm still trying to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's got 2 kids that she's raised. They're beautiful. They're now almost, both of them are almost teenagers. I think the oldest one, my niece, is a teenager. I think she's turned 13.
God, I'm old.
I know, right? It's crazy. And then, of course, Waylon, the youngest one, he's getting there. But they're great kids. They're involved in all the sports and the programs, and she organizes all that crap. And she's like, I look to her when I need life advice. You know, just like generally speaking, how do I fix me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I understand. The parents say that things like completing homework on time, keeping their rooms clean, and demonstrating general responsibility is what makes them a favorite.
I got you.
Agreeability. Children are more likely to be favored if they show cooperation and consideration in family life.
Okay.
Basically, those who make parents' lives easier by helping to maintain healthy family dynamics.
All right. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, well, I think every parent is going to say that you know, they treat kids different because they have 2 different personalities.
Sure.
So you have to, as a parent, learn how to deal with this type of personality A and personality B, right?
Yeah.
And maybe personality A is more agreeable and easier to deal with. And you know when you break the news to personality B that it's going to be a fight.
It's drama.
Right. But you still love both of them.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I know for a fact that my brother was my mother's favorite.
Okay.
It's just a well-known family fact.
She loved the brother.
Yes. And I had issues with it.
Yeah.
And so I talked to him about it. And he then told me his point of view.
Uh-huh.
And it sucked being the favorite.
Oh, really?
And the reason being that he was then constantly saddled with the decisions and with the obligations of having to tend to them when they were older.
I see.
You know, we'll just get, we won't bother the other kids.
Right.
He's just around the corner. And they moved, after they retired, they moved to Missouri. They moved back to Illinois. They moved within a block and a half of him, of my brother.
Okay.
And so it was, what are you doing Saturday? Can you take me to the grocery? Oh, it snowed. We need to have the driveway plowed. Oh, it's, the toilet's backed up. You need, it's, he was always on the hook for it. And he said, I hated it. And I was like, well, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I could see that where all of a sudden they're relying on you more, looking to you more, and now it's just like, hey, you've got other children that could also help you with
exactly. Even in the same town, there was others that could help. Now, growing up, you tend to think, they're going to they don't get in trouble and they get away with everything. They pay for it later,
Right.
They eventually do pay for it. Let's see. Birth order also plays into favoritism. Parents tend to give older siblings more autonomy.
What? Okay, define autonomy for me because I don't know it.
Later curfews, more freedom to make decisions.
Yeah. I think my sister kind of had to deal with that. That I was kind of a wild child, as I kind of mentioned on the first episode.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I basically, she learned real quick that it was going to be very difficult for me for her to wrangle me in. Let's see, autonomy, the right or condition of self-government. Yeah, and that's what it was. That's what it was. Yes, that I was definitely autonomous in that respect because she knew she wasn't going to be able to stop me. She just had to trust me that I was going to turn out okay.
Sure.
In some regards. And she raised me all the way up into my, I think it was about 16 or so whenever I started becoming rebellious and going, I can handle this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas my sister was definitely, and as I mentioned now, definitely has the world under control, it seems like.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure she's pulling her hair out behind closed doors, but you wouldn't know it. But yeah, you know, it definitely, yeah, I was the autonomous one for sure.
So there you have it. Those are the clues to be the favorite child.
Okay.
Speaking of hair,
Oh boy.
I this is going to be a weird circle. I dreamt about you and I last night.
Oh really?
Hand to God, the true
Wow.
story. Oh God, no. We were at like a diner,
Okay.
and we saw Gloria Estefan there.
Okay.
Yes.
Why would we see Gloria Estefan?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
And so I said to you, we got to go get at least a picture and
Sure.
an autograph.
Yeah.
So we walked over, and I said that you, Mike, was a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a picture? And she said, in my dream, I don't normally do that, but if you make it really quick,
Yeah.
we will.
Okay.
And the reason I bring up hair is because you had your beard was gone, mustache was gone.
Really?
You were completely bald, everything, but you had shaven. Shaven.
Shave. Yeah, shave. Yeah, whatever.
And so I was kind of struck that you were that way.
Yeah.
And then you're standing next to her, and for the life of me, I could not get my camera on my phone to work.
Oh, boy.
And then you gave me your camera, and I couldn't get it to turn around or take pictures. Then I had, for some reason, in my hand an iPad or some sort of tablet, and I'm trying to get that picture taken. And all the while, she's just looking, getting all pissed off. She finally just walks away. She was sitting at the counter eating.
Wow.
In my dream, I'm still fumbling with everything. You kind of drift off like, nah, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
And I finally get the camera ready, and then you all were gone. So it was like, all right. So I took a picture of her sitting at the counter, and I walked out.
Wow. Okay. Holy moly.
So
was this a young, hot Gloria Estefan, or was this old Senorita Gramacita? Gloria Estefan.
Senorita Gramacita.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So you recognize her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
did. And
She can't do the conga anymore.
I
It'll
said,
break
hey,
her
get
hip.
on your feet. And
Yeah.
she was like, no, just get out of here, you.
That's
But anyway,
hilarious.
that I had that dream last night, and it really kind of bothered me.
Wow. Very interesting and strange.
Sure. Let's see. The things that may have happened in the world of science over the past
Oh,
week.
it's finally time for the nerd news.
Now
Here
it's
we-
time for the nerd news. Jeff Bezos, his company Blue Origin, launched their new Glenn rocket for the first time.
You mean the Blue Horizon? Isn't that what it's called?
No, it says Blue Origin here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They're trying to re-land their boosters and use them again, similar to SpaceX.
Right. He's so far behind SpaceX. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Just stick with the shipping, man. You've
Right.
got free shipping. You're good. Get the drones up in the sky and bring me my pizza.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be launching the phallic rockets into the sky. Come on, buddy.
They did get their payload into orbit, but lost the booster.
Oh.
But they still said that they were thrilled with the results.
Now, didn't Elon Musk just have a blow up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think he just had, because I saw that on Twitter as well, or X, that he had he was explaining. Well, here's what happened, and in the future, here's what we're gonna fix. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it did. What had an anomaly?
Yeah, an
is what it's
anomaly.
called.
Yeah.
In the moon news, China wants to plant a flag on the moon next year.
Oh, really?
And they figured out how they're going to do it and make it flutter even with no wind. They engineered a...
Welcome to the moon.
Welcome to Shitty Walk.
Yeah.
They engineered a special flag that flutters when it interacts with electromagnetic fields.
That's how they're going to explain it whenever they videotape it in a studio in Shanghai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Did you see there's a new movie on, is it either Netflix or Apple TV called Fly Me to the Moon?
No, I have not seen it.
It's Fly Me to the Moon, and I can't remember who's in it now, but they're all Channing Tatum.
Okay.
And golly, who's the girl in it? Emily Blunt, maybe. I think it's Emily Blunt. But it's called Fly Me to the Moon, and it's all about, and it's a completely fictional story, supposedly. But it's about how there was a Hollywood studio that was literally hired to record the moon landing and produce it at the same time that they were actually attempting to land on the moon.
Oh.
So that just in case, for whatever reason, the landing on the moon didn't happen, they would have this backup footage and it would all be acted out. And then that's the explanation of why everybody thinks it was filmed in a Hollywood studio or whatever. It's a great movie, by the way.
Scarlett Johansson
That's
is
it.
in
I'm
it.
sorry.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Yes.
Woody Harrelson.
Yes,
Ray
he's in it.
Romano.
Yeah, it's got a great cast.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm glad to see that Scarlett got her husband in a movie role.
Yeah. Yeah.
Colin Yost is in it, or
Yes,
Jost.
yeah.
He
Yep.
plays the senator.
Yep, he does.
Glad to see that they're working
Yeah,
together.
that's but it's a great movie. You got to check it out. It's very funny, very cute, and also kind of just like a fun, kind of almost like comedy thriller because
okay.
it's all behind the scenes. It's all the government. Woody Harrelson, he plays like the black ops agent who's ordering all of this be done, and Scarlett Johansson, ScarJo, she's the producer who's making this happen, and then there's the wacky wily Hollywood film director who comes in and he says, "I can't work like this. I'll be in my trailer."
Jesus.
You know, that kind of character.
Sure.
So it's a lot of fun. You got to check it out.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, back to China's moon landing.
I will definitely do that. I will check to see if I can find it.
I think it's
China's
Apple TV, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. China is trying to put the flag on the moon. By the way, there are 6 American flags on the moon, all of which are now white.
Really?
They have been bleached by the sun
Oh,
since
I've
they've
heard
been
that
up there
before,
for
yeah.
40 plus years.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're now all absolutely white.
So can we see them with one of our telescopes? Because that would put it all to rest, right? Like, there it is. There's the American flag.
Yeah.
It's all white now, but you can see it. It's sitting right there.
You can see the landing locations of
yeah.
the tracks of
Right.
where the lunar lander or the
You should be able to see a footprint, right? I mean,
yeah.
in theory,
yeah,
if they were up there.
depending on how good your telescope is, yeah.
Well, they
No-
can
nothing-
take pictures of galaxies millions of light years away.
Nothing that you and I can own.
Right. But they should point that Webb telescope right at the landing site and say, "Look, there it is."
Speaking of which, did you take this telescope from the station?
I did not.
No?
I didn't.
No,
I
okay.
thought about it. I even told Bob, I was like, I almost want to take that. It belongs to me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm never going to use it. Just keep it here. If you guys want it. If you don't want it, throw it away.
Yeah. Okay. Mike brought in a telescope into the radio station that we used maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, when
in
we
the
could,
in the
yeah.
10 years that it was there. But in other moon news and the nerd news, the World Monuments Fund just listed the moon as a threatened cultural site.
Okay.
Because we are sending more and more landers up there and space tourism is taking off. They want to start talking about how to preserve things like Neil Armstrong's boot prints, for example.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna go up there and they're gonna have stanchions around the boot prints.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Next on the tour will be the Apollo Lab and landing site.
That's kind of interesting. Would you go?
To the moon?
Yeah. Well,
Sure,
like if they had a way for us to go up there.
Yeah.
If they called you tomorrow, if Jeff Bezos called you tomorrow and said, "We'll stick you in this thing and let's see if you come back."
Sure. Yeah.
You'd
Yeah,
do
sure.
it.
Why not?
I would not do it.
Over here, as you can see, the footprints of Neil Armstrong. Over.
No, I definitely would go up into space. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would. I'm good.
Bezos
I've
really
gone
doesn't go into space, though.
Well, right. He just goes into the upper realms of the
yeah,
atmosphere.
yeah,
But
really.
like I've gone scuba diving enough, and and that gives me enough anxiety. I love it. It's fun, but you have to remind yourself you're going to be okay. And I just can't imagine I have no control in an airplane, much less out in the realms of space.
True. Yeah.
Oof, God, that would just drive me right up a wall.
Yeah.
I think I need to go. Is there a bathroom that I can go vape in? I need. I gotta calm my nerves somehow.
And talk about claustrophobic. I mean, those spacesuits aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the oof. Let's see here. In health news, a study found a glass of milk a day might protect you against colon cancer.
Hey, all right.
It's harder for seniors to focus on. Now these are health news, and there's a bunch of them.
Oh, I gotcha.
So a glass of milk help colon cancer.
Okay.
It's harder for seniors to focus if the thermostat's not set between 68 and 75. They can't seem to read the numbers very well.
Okay. I'm in that realm. I can't keep concentration if it's too hot or too cold.
And relying on Ambien to help you fall asleep might be detrimental and increase your risk for Alzheimer's.
Oh no.
Because it does not permit your brain to repair itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's wrong with Roseanne Barr.
There you go.
We've got it. We figured it out. So
that among other things.
Yeah. So check this out in sleep news, personal to my own story in life. We recently, so Jess has this thing, and I know I've told you about this a million times, that she cannot fall asleep without the television on.
Right.
And I can't fall asleep with it on.
Yes.
So this has caused us to sleep in other rooms many times. If I'm tired enough, it will happen, and we'll sleep in the same bed, and she can fall asleep with the TV on. But normally, I'm just like, especially when we were getting up at 4 a.m, it's like, get out of here. As of the last couple of weeks, though, it's been no problem.
Yeah.
But we did come up with a solution.
Oh.
And I want to recommend this to anybody, any couple that is in the same situation. They now have sleep, like blindfolds, like sleep mask.
Okay.
To block out the light. Those sleep masks have Bluetooth headphones in them.
Really?
So what we did is I bought those, right? The sleep mask that blocks out the light with my own Bluetooth headphones. She bought a workout band. It's like an elastic band that you put over your head. Like, you see girls with it all the time.
Sure.
Their hair is coming over the top, and it's just a headband.
Yeah.
But that headband also has headphones built into them.
Okay.
She can watch television and listen to it in her headphones. And I can have a blackout mask on with my own like sleep music, like the waves crashing.
Sure. Yeah.
And never know that the TV's on at all.
Wow.
And she can watch television until the break of dawn, and we can sleep next to each other in the same bed.
Wow.
And it's awesome.
That's amazing.
It's actually really
I hadn't
awesome.
heard of that.
Yeah, and the mask is super comfortable, like a clothy. Think like the airline blankets, that
Sure,
really soft
yeah.
blanket. Yeah. It's like made out of that, and it has eye pockets, like eye padding, so you can even open your eyes with it on. It doesn't rest on your eye.
I got you.
See
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, and so it's super super comfortable. It's like I'm in my own little world. And if I take my mask up, I'm like, oh, yep, she's still watching TV. And I just put it back on. It's great. I highly recommend it to everybody.
Wow.
That issue.
All right.
It's
Cool.
so good. Yeah.
Let's see here. A study has found that if you feed squirrels peanuts, you are making their jaws weaker.
But, okay.
And their heads flatter.
Oh, no.
It's because peanuts are softer than what they would normally eat.
Well, stop. Who's feeding the squirrels peanuts? Is that a thing?
I guess. I don't know.
Is that like going and throwing feed to the pigeons in Central Park? Are people throwing peanuts to squirrels?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
I've never even heard
People
of
in my neighborhood are probably doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, the old farts.
All right, well, stop doing that. Peanuts are for humans and elephants.
Yes, exactly. Stray dogs near Chernobyl are now genetically different.
Oh, no. Do we have a mega wolf dog?
The study found radiation isn't causing it. They think it's because they've been cut off from other dogs for 40 years, and they're starting to evolve differently, but they don't say how.
Really? Interesting.
They're probably driving, using iPads,
Right.
ordering takeout.
Oh man. Well, okay. At least it's not like a Godzilla type situation where we're getting dire wolf Shih Tzus.
Super dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, a poll of experts found that most of them believe that aliens are real and that they are out there somewhere. Very few think that they're not. Over 86% of astrobiologists think that there is life on other planets. 12% stay neutral and don't answer. Just 2% of them think that we are alone in the universe.
Just 2% think
Yeah.
we're alone. Yeah, those people are stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
absolutely.
no way.
Absolutely no way.
With the millions and millions of stars and galaxies and planets that we even have yet to discover, you're telling me there's not one of them that doesn't have some kind of life on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
And I tend to agree with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
That he says that they probably have come by and they looked at us.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, God,
Yeah.
look at them.
So primitive.
You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're out of here. And they don't even bother with us.
I was having this conversation with a friend just the other day, actually, that it seems like maybe you and I have talked about this, but it's kind of like what we do with other animal species here on Earth. Like, if you and I were scientists and we study chimpanzees and we go out into the wild and we do our best to maintain our distance and watch from a distance so that we're not interrupting, but we're videoing them, we're studying them. Every once in a while, we have to shoot one with a tranquilizer dart so that we can get a blood sample.
Sure.
And maybe probe it or figure out what its reproductive organs are, whatever. It's the exact same thing. They're doing that with us. Every once in a while, those chimpanzees, one of them's going, Brian, I don't know about you, but last night, I swear to God, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, there was a probe in me. It was this weird-looking creature. It kind of looked like us. Its eyes were bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's going,
and had no hair.
Yeah. Listen, Dave, you're crazy. Those don't exist. You're crazy. It's the same thing.
I completely agree with
They're
you.
just studying us, and every once in a while, one of us sees them or has an interaction with them, and then of course the rest of the tribe doesn't believe that person.
Yep.
And they're doing the same thing that we do to other animals in the wild. They're learning about us.
There is a South Park episode in which Earth is nothing more than a reality show for other beings,
makes sense,
other
too,
aliens,
Yeah.
and they think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like us watching the Kardashians or the
Right,
Real
yeah.
Housewives of some place or the Jerry Springer show.
The reality show of the universe or
Right,
whatever.
yeah, and they just think it's Earth, and they just think it's hilarious, and they
Wow.
just watch it. So
That would make sense too.
it absolutely
It
would.
definitely makes more sense to have that than there not be any other life out there.
Speaking of Jerry Springer show, have you seen the new Jerry Springer documentary that is on Netflix?
I have
believe?
not, no.
Very good.
Really?
Yeah, it's two-parter. It's about 90 minutes long. Both
Is
of
it
them.
called Springer? What is it called?
It
It seems like I've seen something, but I can't
it's
remember.
brand new. It's just come
Okay.
out, so you've probably seen it in the hot trending.
Right.
things.
Trending now. Or
Right,
whatnot,
but
yeah.
it tells you the rise and fall of the show, and they talk to producers, and they talk to one producer that actually it broke him.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how hard that they pushed and
Yeah.
and how they constantly were looking for
Right.
these wild and wacky stories. And the story that broke him was a girl. Remember, she called the show and said she wanted to be on it.
Okay.
A girl that worked for an escort service, and her father was calling the escort service to book her.
Oh, come on. Did he know he was booking his own daughter?
Yes.
Oh, disgusting.
And so this producer said there's no way that the dad would want to come on the show, and he agreed. And so they booked these two. They put her in one hotel under an alias. They put him in another hotel under an alias.
Yeah.
Somehow they found each other.
Oh, boy.
The producer goes to the hotel after she checks in to make sure that she's okay. The father comes to the door in a towel. It's obvious that they had been doing house cleaning.
What?
And the producer said, that was it. I was done. I didn't even go back to work.
So she was willingly doing this with her own father then?
Yes.
Oh, come
Because the
on.
escort service was saying, if you don't bring this the money,
Yeah.
then
Right.
You know.
It must have been a human trafficking situation.
Right,
Because
yeah.
I think even prostitutes have values, Eric. You would hope anyway. Did I tell you about my friend Mike Christie that I grew up with that was on the Jerry Springer Show?
No.
So his name was Mike Christie, and he was a messed up dude anyway. Like he's like missing teeth, crooked, like he was just kind of a messed up guy. And he was on there, but we were all friends with him. We just all kind of knew he was wacky. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't quite all there in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And but he was on the show, and he told us that it was all fake. That they paid him, and the producers told him what to say and set it up to where there would end up being a fist fight at the end. So whenever he says this, you go after him, all right? And then they would, of course, break it up on stage in front of everybody.
This documentary on Netflix, it's called Jerry Springer Fights Camera Action.
Uh-huh.
The producers say that they did get them riled up.
Okay, gotcha.
That they would go in and get them angry,
Yeah.
and almost belittle them and
Yeah.
say, "How dare you? How dare you waste my time to come on this show? You're pissed off at this guy." And they would just keep hounding you until you got so mad.
Yeah.
Then they would say, "Get out there."
Oh, wow.
It'd be like getting a fighter psyched up or whatever.
Right.
Then they would send them out.
Holy moly.
And the documentary showed, for somebody like you and myself that has been in entertainment, the producers, the director, all looked at it as a show. And to them, these people were basically actors. You know that when we would get done with the radio show, or you get done with a play, or
Yeah.
you get done with a comedy thing, you could roast somebody and just say the most insulting things to them.
Yeah.
But once you step off the stage, you know that it's cut, scene, we're done.
Right.
And you go back to slapping the guy in the back and laughing.
Right. Yeah.
These people are burying their souls, and they're not actors. So they're tapping into raw emotions.
Really?
And they're not, when they hear cut, they're not stopping.
They're not stopping. They're going. Yeah.
Yes, because it's real and raw to them.
Wow.
So the producers and the directors all looked at it as they were just basically, at the end of the day, we're done with the show. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
And
sending them off into their wild lives that they just basically ruined by putting on national television.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Sounds like a great recipe for success.
well, they also had the murder case that was a part of it, where it was a love triangle, and he wound up killing one of the women.
What?
Happened in Sarasota. Yeah.
I honestly did not know that ever happened with the Jerry Springer Show.
Yeah. It happened with them, and that was the start of the downfall, because then the advertisers and the I don't know, the bosses, if you will, the lawyers started to tell them, okay, no more sex, no more family problems, no more this,
no more
that.
fist fights on stage,
Right.
probably.
Yeah. And all of that started to diminish.
Well, I'll have Jess watch it. She's my official documentary watcher, and then tells me how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite good. And it's short. I mean, it moves really, really well.
Yeah.
So I was and nowhere in that documentary do they bash Jerry Springer.
Oh, everybody loved him.
Everybody,
Just from the small interviews and short documentaries that I've seen, he was pretty well respected from what I understand.
Yeah. Everybody thought that he was great.
He was never a jerk or anything like that. Are we wrapping her up?
We're done.
Look at that.
How about that? Put her in the
Episode
books.
2 in the books.
So thank you so very much for being a part of it. We love the fact that you listen. Please share, and tell your friends and family. Reach out to us at Eric and Mike Podcast at gmail.com.
Also, tell your friends to search for us, the Eric and Mike Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, all the places. So no matter where, if you're listening to this on your social media app, you can listen to it now on your Spotify app, everywhere. And please check out winterhavenlol.com.
Exactly.
And come out and see a comedy show right here in Laugh Out Loud.
That's right. And if you would like to sell your house, reach out to me and let me know. Or buy a home. Now's a great time.
That's it. See ya.
We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.